Wait, okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Tape 2. So,
Okay. Did Grandpa's parents have brothers and sisters? That's your next question. There you go.
Grandpa's parents?
did Grandpa have brothers and sisters?
Yes.
Yes. Do you know the names of an uncle?
No.
No. Was there a horse Albinus, or
That was a cousin.
that was a cousin?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't know the names of horses. The Myers we know. There are a couple
They're
of
your
Myers.
father's cousins.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Henny Meyer, Herbie Meyer, Robert Meyer,
Dorothy.
Those
Dorothy
were
Hasselbrack.
Dorothy Hasselbrack.
those were Marie's brothers and sisters or cousins?
Cousins, nieces and nephews.
Okay. Gotcha.
So those are my dad's cousins.
Yes.
Right.
His generation. Okay.
His generation, not the right. Do you know if Herman had any brothers or sisters?
Yes, many.
Okay.
I don't know their names.
And they all stayed in Germany?
They're in Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're dead.
They're dead. Unless they're 117
So
years
just wait,
old.
yeah,
They're
you're- Okay.
What were the boats named?
Do you know anything about what boats they came on?
when Grandma and Grandpa came over. Do you know what boats they came on?
No.
No.
Okay.
Did
Sorry.
they go to Ellis Island?
We don't.
They probably did because their name was on a plaque that
That's
Grandpa
true.
paid for.
At least Marie. Yeah.
Yeah, at least
Yeah.
Marie.
On the plaque. They were both on the plaque, Nora says. Okay. Okay. Do you know? Did Grandpa have any other papers, like passports or?
Did they have any passports?
Do you mean Grandpa? Do you mean Fred Albinus or Herman?
Herman, yeah.
We don't have any of Grandpa's Herman Albinus's papers or passports or anything like that, do we? Or anything like that?
There might be something in the strong box in the closet in my room.
Okay, I could check that out. Can I go in there? Is that all right?
Sure.
If there is, if you could just take some pictures of those, that would be great.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, now ask her about what was. We're gonna go back to talking about you now.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So it's a change of topic. So he's gonna
Alright.
hit you with some questions.
Alright, so what was Ireland like when you were young?
What was Ireland like?
Yeah, when you were young.
Okay.
It was a vast desert. A lot of
No,
camels.
it wasn't a vast desert. It was a poor country, but a wonderful country. I traveled 12 miles to school. I rode a bicycle.
Okay.
What was it like? It's difficult. It was a different kind of life. My father was very well acquainted with gypsies because they loved horses.
Okay. Why did you come to America? Like, why?
I came to America because my mother was in the United States. Oh, to begin with, my grandmother came to the United States in the 1800s, and she stayed here for 6 years. She went back to visit her family. She met her future husband, got married, and stayed in Ireland.
Okay.
Then my mother came to the United States when she was, I guess, in her mid-20s, and she stayed for 6 years and then went back, and this is a juicy story, Timmy.
Castle Harbor, Bermuda.
Yeah.
Is that where you went on the honeymoon?
That's where we stayed.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a little hotel card.
Yeah. And when she went home to Ireland, her brother wanted to leave Ireland, so he stole her return ticket. And he came to the United States. That was Uncle Barney. So she met her husband, she met her daddy, and I hope they fell in love and got married, and she stayed there. Now, my Uncle Barney that came to the United States, he was drafted. He was in the army, and he was in a bad accident on Jericho Turnpike, and he was killed. I have another uncle, Uncle Johnny. He lived in Oyster Bay. He got pneumonia. They didn't have penicillin then, and he passed away.
Any other stories that?
Then he had, my mother had a sister, Mary.
Okay.
She's married to Donahue, and they had 5 children. My father's 2 sisters came to the United States, and Aunt Mary Ellen, when she was 27 years old, got pneumonia. She passed away. My Auntie Anne worked in a hospital for 25, 30 years.
Did she ever marry?
No.
Who was a nanny for J.P. Morgan?
Yeah, my mother.
From when to when, roughly?
I don't know, Philip. You're asking me. I'm old. I don't
You remember your
what
phone
I had
number,
for
lady.
breakfast.
So that Barney character was quite a guy, huh? That
Yeah.
Barney, yeah.
Yeah.
Was he a rake?
He was a rake.
So, you grew up during World War II,
Yes.
and do you remember seeing...
And I remember 1940, especially. There were planes flying overhead, and we were backing, even though we were enemies with the English, we were backing the English. No, we were backing the Germans because they were anti-British.
Yeah. So Ireland stayed neutral during the war. No Irish people fought officially. But
No, but my neighbor worked in England, and he joined the RAF, and he fought at Dunkirk. Felix Kiernan was his name.
And who were the Kiernans? The Kiernans were...
My mother was Kiernan.
Your mother was a Kiernan. And was he a pilot, or was he just serving in the...
No, I just remember him when he was home, the uniform that he wore. He wore breeches, and he wore brown boots with leggings to match. And he had a very spiffy uniform.
Yeah.
I should write a book.
You should. We'll use this as a start. And your sisters came over right around the time that you came over?
My older sister came over ahead of me, a couple of years ahead of me. And then I came over, and my sister and I lived together in Brooklyn in an apartment on Court Street. And
That's okay. You're good. So, ask her. Go ahead and ask her what you were going to ask.
So, did you at all know about the attack on Pearl Harbor?
Did you know about the attack on Pearl Harbor?
yeah.
Yeah.
You
heard about it probably from the radio, or...
We didn't have TV. We had a radio. Oh, Jesus, I wish I had pictures of the radio. This radio was a piece of furniture, and it worked on a dry battery and a wet battery. And when the wet battery had to be recharged, we had to take it to the police station. And they would recharge the battery.
Once a month, or...
I don't know,
a couple times
Philip.
a year?
And the neighbors would come in and sit around and listen to the radio.
And you would listen to the BBC or
He didn't have a radio.
Radio Luxembourg? What would you listen to?
You're bugging me.
No,
now.
I'm not.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
But I know what my favorite program was.
What?
Around the Fire.
Around the Fire. Was that a comedy or was that a...
It was a family
Or when,
situation.
Oh, like a situation comedy. That's nice.
Yeah.
Were they welcome when they came?
Were you welcome at all?
Wait,
When
tell
you
her.
came to America, were you welcome? Was it easy to transition?
Yeah,
People
it
nice
was.
to you?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it. I wasn't impressed with the cleanliness of New York City.
Did you experience any prejudice? Prejudice?
No,
Because-
no, no.
Oh, okay. Was there any anti-German problems?
When Grandpa's
When
parents
Grandpa
came,
came over, was there any anti-German sentiment when Grandpa was young? Not Fred, but Herman.
Well, yes, and what bothered Grandpa Herman was that he was drafted into the army and he was fighting his countrymen.
Yeah.
And that was
Yeah.
not easy for him to,
Right.
yeah.
Right. So Grandpa was a doughboy. He was in the army, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
World War One.
You end up fighting against your own country, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. A little bit. Alrighty, so can you tell me anything else or thank you?
Can you tell me anything else that you know?
I know a lot of things. Adjusting to the United States was very pleasant and very easy for me. I met very interesting people. On the ship coming over was the first time I met a black person. And he was a medical student returning to the United States.
Wow.
And that was a very nice experience.
Yeah.
Um,
Had you ever seen a black person before?
no, not a,
No.
no. And then when I went to work, my best friend was a black person, which was unusual.
Yeah.
Oh, the other experience I had, Timmy, that was very upsetting.
What?
In 1955, I went on a bus trip to Florida on a vacation with my cousin. And we stopped in Delaware. And we were getting off to go and have a sandwich. And my cousin and I sat at a counter. And we were ignored. And the waitress finally came and told us that we were sitting in the section for black people. And we would not be served. That was very upsetting for me.
Yeah.
There were no signs or they just
No,
assumed
I
that
don't
people-
know.
Wow.
You're asking
didn't-
too many questions, Philip.
That's what I do, man.
I'm
Trying to get
old.
Details.
Did it happen at all during the Civil Rights Movement?
Did that happen during the Civil Rights Movement? Yeah, that's the early days of the Civil Rights Movement.
Yes,
Ted.
that's when it was starting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was really sad.
Yeah. They, in some states, they had their own water fountains. They
Yes.
couldn't go to movie theaters. They had to, like, if they saw
Their own toilets.
their own toilets, you know?
Yes. In Virginia,
was
they
the-
did. When
They
I
weren't
was,
allowed in swimming pools, God forbid.
oh.
Yeah, that was the Jim Crow laws.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the most upsetting experience I had in the United States.
Right.
One other upsetting experience I had was when Grandpa and I decided to get married. And I'm Catholic and Grandpa was Protestant.
Oh.
And the Catholic Church was not welcoming to us, and neither was the Protestant Church.
Whoa.
So that was an unpleasant experience, but it all worked out fine.
It was considered a mixed marriage,
It was a mixed marriage, and
Yeah.
I was a bitch.
and you were a bitch. Why America, and why didn't you go to London? Did your family or
No,
friends
my
go?
mother was here, and I knew all about the United States. She lived on Fifth Avenue,
Right.
across from the library.
Yeah,
She did her shopping at Bloomingdale's.
right.
I thought I was coming here for a visit.
Really?
Yeah,
How long were you planning on or thinking about staying for? You thought
5 years.
That's it, and then you were going to go back and
Yeah, and I was going to marry Johnny Smith.
wow.
But he came here to marry me, but I had already met your father.
Oh wow.
Yes.
It's like the movie Brooklyn.
Yeah, oh, it's Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like the movie Brooklyn.
Yes.
Now, did you ever travel when you were a kid? I mean, maybe just Dublin.
No,
that was
I
it?
didn't. The only thing we went to was for our graduation. We went to Dublin and we toured the city of Dublin. And the big important thing was the horse show.
Right. So, what was it like being in the city for the first time? Wasn't that impressive?
It was okay, but nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we went to Trinity College, which had the Book of Kells in it that still have it. I
Yeah.
took you there.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
What did you think of the skyscrapers in New York?
I was impressed at night riding over certain bridges,
Yeah.
the lights of the city.
Right.
Ask her one more thing. Ask her if she knows why Grandpa's parents left Germany. Was it the same reason? Was it just no opportunity there, or?
Right,
know-
no opportunity.
Yeah.
Did they grow up on a farm, or were they shopkeepers, or?
They grew up on a farm.
Yeah. Right. Did they speak English at all, or they had to learn it here?
I think they had to learn it
Right.
here.
Yeah. And they gave their kids American names. They didn't give them very German names. You know,
Daddy's name was Frederick Herman,
Frederick Herman.
and Herbert
Yeah.
Williams, I think.
George. Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Alright, thank you, Grandma.
Okay, honey.
Is that enough information?
I think that's quite a lot to work with. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We might have other questions for you in the future, but I thank you so much. That's a big help.
My pleasure.
All right. What was your phone number again? In 60 years ago.
Fordham 59491.
Fordham 5. Yeah. And Tim, ask Grandma what her Twitter handle was.
Yes, what her Twitter was?
Your father is a wise ass.
Twitter. Oh, I don't know.
All right. I love you.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.